Vegas Scoreboard Express, Saturday and Sunday morning at 6 on KSHP North Las Vegas, FM, AM, K29 6HP North Las Vegas, and KSHP.com.
You're listening to the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express.
Vegas Scoreboard Express, JB the Ticket, waking you up early in the morning. Welcome back. It is Saturday, College Football Saturday on deck. Got my main man with me, Ron, Third Down Best Bets, VSX Digital Sports contributor and VSX co-host. Good morning, Ron, out in the West Coast. How you doing?
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing much better than I thought I should be. You guys can follow me on Instagram at JB the Ticket. Go to my website, jbtheticket.com. I've got everything that you need there, the daily free picks, all of our sponsors. Again, give a shout out to our friends over at Drizzly and Fubo TV. Also got some Paramount Plus on there for you to check out these college football games today. Going to be giving you a recap of the Colorado versus Stanford game. The dog we thought should have been a dog. Colorado ended up going down in double overtime. We're going to talk to you a little bit about it. You got to make sure that you go my way every Saturday and Sunday right here on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM. That's where you're going to want to be locked in to keep the picks going. Also going to have my main man John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook, and RotoWire.com. Going to be on the show today to talk more college football action with you. So it's a big Saturday. Glad you guys are rocking with me. Ron is here with me. He's got the coffee. When I get back from this short commercial break, you guys have got to stay with me and keep it locked. We're going to be giving you the grease to put cash in your pocket today. It's a big college football day, and we're here to get that money. So you guys keep rocking with me and go my way. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Let's get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
Kick off the football season with Drizzly.com. Score big with your favorite drinks delivered right to your doorstep. From ice cold brews to game day cocktails, we've got the perfect lineup for your football gatherings. Visit VegasScoreboardExpress.com and click the Drizzly. Now let's get the party started. Drink responsibly. Must be of legal drinking age. Delivery and availability may vary. Skip your cable bill this month and join the action with JB and Fubo TV. Get 7 days free, 15% off your first month. No credit check, no deposit, no installation hassle. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. Sign up, download the app, and start watching games.
Enjoy being a subscriber after the first month. Easy cancellation anytime. Regional restrictions apply. Sign up at VegasScoreboardExpress.com.
You are rocking with the hottest. Put your hands up for the boss. The Mixmaster is live. Get ready.
You're listening to the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
I'm back here with you, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Got my main man, Ron, Third Down Best Bets on the line. We're trying to do it till we're satisfied and put cash in your pocket this morning. College Football Saturday, AM 1400, 107.1 FM, VSX Digital Sports Networks. Again, I'm your host and boss of the big board, the worldwide famous JB the Ticket, right here in Las Vegas, giving you the grease, waking you up early in the morning. Again, thanking you guys so much for tuning in with me here on KSHP. Ron, Third Down Best Bets. Do you got your coffee this morning? Are you ready to talk about this beatdown that happened last night in Boulder? Got to go ahead and let the folks know. Got some disappointing information for them. Ron, you there? Go ahead.
I'm here, brother. Well, I'm ready.
Well, I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, we were just getting ready to talk about this Colorado team that has been, did better than last year. We give them an applause for that. But the expectations that have been set and the reality that people who have been looking at this team, rooting for this team, we've been getting disappointed quite a few weeks over the last couple of weeks. And what happened last night, up 29-0 at halftime. Okay, they had the game in the bag. And then somehow, some way, Cardinal, again, shout out all those alumni for the Cardinal. You guys came back and won. So we talked about this a lot in the pregame, okay? About the change at Colorado, about the hope, the transfer portal, but mainly Coach Prime. And I want to talk to you listeners today about some of the things that I have seen in relationship to a change in kind of the tempo and the structure and sound of the motivation that Coach Prime has given his team. Now, when we first started off this season, great win. Hats off to the win at TCU. And that got the hype train going. And then they ran into the skid at Oregon. And that took the hype train off the tracks. When I looked at a lot of the motivational videos, speeches, quotes, first couple of games of the season, it was all about we're shining, we coming, we here. But now the reality has set in that college football is not that easy to take over. Ron, I'll throw it over to you. In my opinion, I think it's more a generational thing. Hard to teach these young men now that are getting $1 million deals and putting cash in their pockets early in college, doing the wristwatch Audemars Piguet. It's $150,000 to $250,000 watch, people. This new generation has already made it. And in my opinion, it's harder to motivate young men, especially in college football, who already have the, I guess you say, network, the net worth. Coach Prime was bringing in guys like The Rock. He was bringing in his moms, all his former NFL guys. So when you look at what Colorado has around them, the mentality, in my opinion, of the kids these days, and again, a lot of you guys will be like, oh, JB, you just talking mess. I'm like, no, these younger kids, they don't have the motivation to really excel when things are put in front of them to make them go to the next level. And that's not to say that there aren't kids out there that have that, but the dynamic, I tried to say dynamic. I said dynamic. Not talking about a milkshake maker, people, but the dynamic that was created over at Colorado, we were expecting a little more success. I could say maybe, on an Angel's prayers, 7-0, 6-1, 5-2, but the loss last night really exposed some of the holes. Shout out to Travis Hunter. He came back balling out, and that just let me know in the first half. First touchdown went to Travis Hunter. So when you talk about Colorado going forward, I know, Ron, you talked about the transfer portal. I know you talked about a lot of the issues with Boulder, Colorado. A lot of kids may not want to go there because outside of football, there really isn't much to do. Now, that may bode well to build the team, but again, this new generation, they have access to their fans through social media. They are public figures, starting off, some of them already 10th grade in high school. We see a lot of these young men getting exposure that wouldn't have happened, say, 25, 30 years ago. And even so today, with the exposure of Colorado, all the targets are on them. People are out there buffalo hunting like Wild Bill Hickok. Okay. Piling them up like the 19th century. Go ahead, Ron.
Well, like you said, it's a generational problem. Now the kids, they play Madden. They play college football games, and that's their goal. When I was coming up, we couldn't wait for Thanksgiving to go out there at the local field and just cream each other with no pads. That's how we became dogs. Every weekend, we were out there. When the Sunday NFL game started, we were out there at 8 in the morning smashing each other in the street. That's where you become a dog, and that's the generational problem. You don't have that anymore. Kids just play video games now. They don't want to get hurt. Their parents don't want them to get hurt. They don't want to get dirty, That's serious loss, and now they have money to go with it. So it's a generational problem. I agree with you 100%.
Somebody should have coached these kids. Shadur Sanders, he did well last night, but talk about this kid, Ashton Daniels. Where did he come from?
Bingo.
27-45, 396. Woke up in the second half, led his team to victory in double overtime against Stanford, beating Colorado on the road. Covered the plus 13. Coach Prime is 0-3 on covering spreads this season. 0-3. Not counting the dog losses. So when they are a favorite, a lot of people are saying, get him now because it will be hard pickings to get them later. But as we talked about before, there's some dogs out there. There's kids out there that can play. They can make it in the program. But as we talked about, the mentality and the wherewithal and the intensity, I guess you could say, of these new kids and these new generation, you may not want to go play. And I'm just saying this for a Coach Prime. And here's why. The expectations. He's an old school coach. He expects a lot out of these young men. And again, shout out to Travis Hunter coming back from that serious injury and putting in some work last night. I told you he's the heart and soul of that team because, again, he plays both sides of the football. He is essentially the spirit of Prime on the field, a great two-way player, making plays for his team, for his coach. But last night, it just wasn't enough. And what did I warn you guys about Colorado early on in the season? The defense. The defense. That defense is holier than the Pope. When you talk about the offensive side of the ball, you see what Shadur Sanders can do. You see Travis Hunter when he's dynamic at the receiver position. They've got other guys who have stepped up over the past few weeks. But on the defensive side of the ball, we're not seeing any stars. That dog that he's looking for out there, I'm not seeing it. To allow 46 points to get put on you in the second half is atrocious. And I think that if you look at the Instagram postings, there's no more postings of The Rock. There's no more postings of players getting up on the microphone. It's Coach Prime in the meeting room talking about guys needing to be held accountable, missing meetings, missing practices.
Call security.
How are you guys? And I'm talking to you Colorado players out there. I know I got a lot of fans listening over in Denver and Boulder right now. Aurora, Colorado. Thank you guys so much. DenverSportsBetting.com. Shout out my main man, Ryan Garcia. Used to rock with the show, still rocking with us. It is a relationship between the passion that these young men have, not only for the game, but the passion they have to step up when the pressure is hot. The expectations were there. And in my opinion, I think they were given too much too soon. When you were a young college player and you've already got the jewels and you've already got the cars and you've already got the notoriety and the name recognition and you're already rubbing elbows with some of the elites of the game, Hall of Famers, celebrity superstars, it's kind of hard to tell me that I haven't made it. And if you feel that you've made it a lot of times, you don't take the steps that you need to maintain that success. And again, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. I'm giving you the grease, waking you up early in the morning with my main man, Ron, Third Down, Best Bets. Very disappointing last night in college football. Again, Colorado was not able to get it done. But when we come back today, we're going to tell you who is able to get it done and who's going to be able to put cash in your pocket. Ron, any shout-outs before we take this first commercial break? Go ahead.
Yeah, I got one for my Fighting Irish friends, Danielle Davis Renshaw and her older brother, Jack Davis. Fight on, baby. Fight on.
Notre Dame today on the line. We're going to be talking about it when we get back. We're also going to be talking about the game with Washington and Oregon, a West Coast showdown up in the Pacific Northwest. Shout out to my main man, Troy West. One of the best handicappers in the nation, also a VSX digital sports contributor. So you guys keep it locked here. KSHP, AM 1400 and 107.1 FM. Also want to give a shout out to my main man, Mark Hayes. Appreciate that, Mark. Thank God it didn't go as far as we thought it did. But I'm back in studio bringing you the grease. Nothing can stop the grease train, and I don't want you guys to stop listening. So keep it locked with me here, and let's get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease. Skip your cable bill this month and join the action with JB and Fubo TV. Get 7 days free, 15% off your first month. No credit check, no deposit, no installation hassle. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. Sign up, download the app, and start watching games.
Enjoy being a subscriber after the first month. Easy cancellation anytime. Regional restrictions apply. Sign up at VegasScoreboardExpress.com.
Shopping is always easy with the Radio Shopping Show. Whether it's shopping during any one of our live shows right here on AM 1400 or listening live on the KSHP app, you can always call in at 702-221-7283 to pick up great deals with your favorite host. Or shop 24/7 at KSHP.com. Go to KSHP.com and select Shopper's Guide to browse hundreds of businesses featured on the show. Place your order online and we'll have it shipped right to your front door. With so many possibilities, it's hard not to shop.
Kick off the football season with Drizzly.com. Score big with your favorite drinks delivered right to your doorstep. From ice cold brews to game day cocktails, we've got the perfect lineup for your football gatherings. Visit VegasScoreboardExpress.com and click the Drizzly. Now let's get the party started. Drink responsibly. Must be of legal drinking age. Delivery and availability may vary.
You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
More fire, more heat. This mix is moved.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball.
JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, back on the line with you here. KSHP AM 1400, 107.1 FM, giving you the grease. Got my main man John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook, and RotoWire.com on the line with me. Also, Ron Third Down, Best Bets, VSX Digital Sports contributor and co-host. Good morning to you, John. How you doing over on the East Coast?
I'm doing great, JP. How about yourself?
Doing as well as can be with the situations going on, but it is college football Saturday. All money, all sports, no bull. Waking you up here on KSHP. Want to tell you guys about John Ryan. He is a writer for RotoWire.com, also the owner and proprietor, chief handicapper of the Predictive Sports Betting Playbook. Now, let me tell you a little bit about what he's got going on today. Pac-12 game of the year. This guy is on an 85-44 run, people. Ranked in the top 10 over the last decade. Documented sports capping picks. He's got a package for you today. $75. Going to get you where you want to be. So again, John, thank you so much for stopping by the big board.
My pleasure, JB.
So glad to have you here affiliated with us. Again, you guys are never going to get any more grease from anywhere else. You're not going to get the picks. You're not going to get the information. You got to tune into JB the Ticket every Saturday and Sunday before the book is open. So before we jump into some of the picks today, I just want to get your thoughts on the Colorado game last night. I was talking about this at length with Ron. Some of the thoughts that I had about the type of kids that they're recruiting and the type of kids that are available. I mean, it's going to be, finding as many as you can early and then the needle in the haystack. But the Colorado Buffaloes losing last night and a heartbreaker and a shocker at home. Another double overtime game. Another game where the defense was not able to hold up. And I warned you guys about Colorado's defense over the past couple of seasons. We did see Travis Hunter make a comeback, but just in your thoughts, Colorado, they made themselves so interesting. They've won some games, more games than they won last year. But from the perspective of sports betting, is this a team that you can keep on your sports betting list? Or is this one of those stories where you're just like, I'm going to watch it from afar because, again, he's 0-3 against spreads when he's a favorite, talking about Coach Prime, and the Colorado Buffaloes 0-3 when they're a favorite, and losing at home last night, a big money line plus 500 to the Stanford Cardinal. Are they a team that you can keep on your betting list? Go ahead, John.
Well, I think the story is a great one, JB. The beginning of the season was very cool with Prime being the head coach and all the notoriety they were getting, the upset of TCU. all great stuff. It'll help in the recruiting going forward. But when you lead 29-0 in a game against Stanford, and no offense to Stanford, they're just not the Stanford Cardinals when John Elway played for them that day. To give that lead up and then lose in double overtime, Coach Prime's going to have his first major test to get these guys ready to play next week, because this is a loss that is really big-time demoralizing. And he'll have his work cut out. So I would stay away from Colorado. I think there's a lot more games out there that are much better opportunities.
I'm telling you right now, man, they got to go back to school, go back to the drawing board. I told you some of the videos that I see coming out of Colorado with Coach Prime, a lot more encouraging guys to remain accountable, a lot more telling guys to get to the meetings on time. With a lot of these young men, it's just too much. I mean, you've got one of the greatest, if not the greatest, two-way NFL player of all time coaching you. He has expectations, and his level of success and the demand that he puts on these young men to reach that level of success, it may be just a bit too much for some of them. But let's jump into today's game, again being brought to you by our friends over at Fubo TV. People, you guys got to go over to FuboTV.com/JB. I'm giving you 15% off. And I'm giving you 7 days to watch it free. Want to shout out to the folks that did sign up last week. Thank you so much. Helping keep the show in the air and promoting good savings and making sure that you guys know that you can watch these games without a hassle, even if you're out of market. So jumping into it today, rotation number 131, the Texas A&M Aggies. They're on the road going out to Knoxville. Rotation number 132, the Tennessee Volunteers, -3, plus 135 on the money line for Texas A&M. The total is 54.5. Now, John, I'll throw this one at you. Ron, I hope you're still there on the line with me. I'm going to get right to you in a second. Texas A&M. This team has been disappointing over the 5 years that they've hired Jimbo Fisher. He came in with a lot of fanfare, won a national championship. Florida State, Jameis Winston, kissing the ball, kissing the rose, pause. All of these are the type of things that we expect from these coaches when they transfer into these new schools. Texas A&M was supposed to compete for dominance with Nick Saban and Alabama. We haven't seen that yet. Tennessee, however, has seemed to have risen from the dead. All of those dead bodies under the field, people. Raising up, playing defense for Tennessee, helping out the defense of the Tennessee Volunteers. So talk to me about this 54.5, because Tennessee is a very defensively focused team. They don't really seem to have that high-powered, high-octane offense that they had last year under Hendon Hooker. But they are winning games, and they are remaining relevant at 4-1 right now, 3-0 at home. Texas A&M 4-2, not bad, but on the +3 side. Is Texas A&M a team that you think you can take? I'm not really too sure on that quarterback. That's the issue that I have with him. You know, kind of a pick monster, but Tennessee at home today, do you think they got priced a little bit too short? Is this going to be a blowout for Tennessee? Go ahead.
Well, I think it's a blowout at curse, JB. I think it's actually going to be Texas A&M doing the blowing out, because what I see is two very strong defensive fronts, very good against the rush. Even though Texas A&M lost last week, they held Alabama to 23 rushing yards on 26 attempts. Not many teams can do that. Last week, Tennessee allowed 132 rushing yards to South Carolina in a 41-20 win. So I think Texas A&M will be the better ground attack, just marginally, and that's all they need then to set up the play-action pass. So I think Texas A&M is the play here. And I like to lean on the under, too, because of these rushing defenses being so strong. It's going to force both teams to try to win the game through the air, and that's not their forte, neither one of them.
Talking about these Texas A&M Aggies, dogs versus dogs today. The Volunteer is an old hound dog. Ron, throwing this over to you. Do you think Texas A&M, from a coaching standpoint, is at an advantage? Again, you got Jimbo Fisher going up against the upstart former Oklahoma quarterback Josh Heupel, who has really been another coach that people haven't talked about as far as turning around a program and bringing them back to prominence. Texas A&M +3, or do you want to try to go for that small money line of +135? I don't think there's a lot of value with this particular dog barking, and there could be an elephant in the room. John mentioned that these guys cannot get the ball through the air and score touchdowns. Do you think that total under, like John said, is the better play? Go ahead.
Yeah, I do think the under is a better play. I like Tennessee in the game. I think Josh Heupel's a better coach, personally. I'm not a big Jimbo Fisher fan. I think he left Florida State in shambles and ran out of there, took the money, went to Texas A&M, and tried to buy a team. And it didn't work. Basically, they fired everybody except for him, and the coordinators brought a whole new group of money kids in, and they're trying it again. I don't like Jimbo Fisher as a coach. I don't think he's a good coach personally.
Well,
I'll take Josh Heupel any day of the week.
He's telling you to take Josh Heupel at home. Tennessee -3, pretty decent price on the line. We're talking about maybe taking that total going under, since neither one of these teams are really that adept at throwing the football. Moving along to another game today, jump into the ACC, rotation number 133, the Syracuse Orangemen on the road. We were just talking about it, Jimbo Fisher's former team, the Florida State Seminoles, rotation number 134, -19.5. You guys know I don't like those big spreads. Plus 850 for Syracuse. 53.5 is the total. The Orangemen have been very disappointing. Every single time I have bet on them, it has costed me quite a bit of money. Parlays, teaser tickets, they've costed me. But Florida State, when they've had big spreads this season, they haven't really been able to get inside of the cover. Now, you're talking about almost a 3-touchdown spread versus a Syracuse team that is scrappy, but they do have problems scoring the football. However, with Florida State, you never know what you're going to get out of that defense. And if Syracuse can get a couple of late touchdowns, a backdoor cover, it could cost you money. I'm going to throw this one at you, John. Florida State, they're supposed to be dominant this year. People are talking about them possibly going to the college football playoff and representing the ACC. But as you know, and I think the ACC is a very tricky conference. A lot of games can be trap games for you, and this is a game that I think is a trap game based on the spread betting of Florida State. John, go ahead.
Well, the thing I like most about this game is nobody's given Syracuse a chance to win. If you look at the betting markets, JB, Syracuse is only getting about 18% of the tickets right now and 28% of the handle. So the fact that the handle is higher than the ticket makes me a little bit bullish on Syracuse here. And as you know, every year there's double-digit number of teams that are 17.5-point dogs or more that win the game outright. So when you say it before the game starts or before the upset actually occurs, you look like a lunatic suggesting that Syracuse would even have a chance against FSU. But, why is FSU only favored by 19 points? Why aren't they favored by 27.5, being the number 4 team in the country, going up against the Orange, who have really not played all that well against very, very tough teams, but not teams that are as good as FSU. So I kind of smell a rat here, and I think Syracuse is the correct play here for today. It's actually a bet that I'm on, and, I have a little sprinkle on the money line, too, just in case the unthinkable happens.
I'm telling you right now, Syracuse, 19.5 underdogs, going on the road. Everything you mentioned about the handle, but I think a lot of it has to do with their quarterback, Garrett Schrader. He hasn't been able to get the ball through the air over the last couple of weeks. It's a 4-2 team. It's a 4-2 team. They can win games. Dino Babers, I kind of didn't like the fact that he was giving a lot of grease to Jordan Travis, who is the quarterback, dynamic quarterback, possible top 5 pick in this NFL draft this year for the Florida State Seminoles. But they did not have great things coming out of Garrett Schrader, and he's thrown a pick in the last 4 contacts. You guys know I don't like pick monsters because that is something that could cost you late in a game, maybe stop a drive that can get inside of that cover. I'm actually going to stay off of this game because, again, John gave a lot of good information. I'm just looking at it. ACC, I'm not too sure, but a lot of people were asking me about it. And I said, look, I got a guy who can tell you how to bet it. Again, John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook, breaking that down for you. Follow him over on Twitter, a.k.a. the X, at John Ryan Sports 1. Ron, I'll throw this one at you. Do you like Syracuse today? Do you think they're going to get inside of that spread? Go ahead.
Well, like I said in the pregame, I wasn't going to say it, but since John went with it, I like Syracuse too.
There you go. They're telling you go with the Orangemen. They're looking to bring some juice. Rotation number 133, the Syracuse Orangemen. Plus 19 on the spread. If you're not scared, take a money line. You can get plus 850. Get these games over at our friends Bet Online at BetUS.com. Use offer code VSX125. That's going to give you a 125% bonus on your initial deposit. Plus 21 in legal jurisdictions only. And if you got a gambling problem, get some help. Don't go to that website. But if you've got none of those issues, please sign up for it. Helps keep the show going. And also, that's an easy way to put some cash in your pocket. So, John Ryan, you stay tuned. Stay locked in with me. Ron, you stay locked in. And all you listeners out there in Las Vegas and around the world, KSHP.com. Tune in, iHeartRadio, Spotify, you name it. We are there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You stay locked in with me. When I get back, we're going to be breaking down some more college football. Might have another special guest out by the big board this morning. You never know. College Football Saturday, folks. JB The Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express. You guys can follow me over on Instagram at JB The Ticket. Go to my website, jbtheticket.com, and VegasScoreboardExpress.com for all your daily deals, picks, and everything sports betting. So when I get back from this short commercial break, we're going to lock it in. John, any shout-outs before we take this short commercial break? Go ahead. I'll give you one or two.
I have a card that I really like today, and you know me, I don't hype anything. We don't have crystal balls, but I do think it's worth giving me a direct message, and if you do, then I'll give you the 10-unit max bet today free, and you can get the research and see why it actually is a 10-unit best bet.
That's what I'm talking about, Ron. Third down best bets, my main man, John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook. Also want to give a shout out to my main man here in Las Vegas, Ronnie B., one of the handicappers, VSX Digital Sports Network contributors. You guys can go to my website, jbtheticket.com, and get his picks, daily pick every single day. Right now, Ron is 5-0. If you guys aren't signing up for that free daily pick at jbtheticket.com, I don't know why you asked me for it. I put it there for you, and it's putting cash in your pocket. So you guys keep it locked and stay tuned. We'll be back in a second. Let's get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket.
Skip your cable bill this month and join the action with JB and Fubo TV. Get 7 days free, 15% off your first month. No credit check, no deposit, no installation hassle. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. Sign up, download the app, and start watching games.
Enjoy being a subscriber after the first month. Easy cancellation anytime. Regional restrictions apply. Sign up at VegasScoreboardExpress.com.
Kick off the football season with Drizzly.com. Score big with your favorite drinks delivered right to your doorstep. From ice cold brews to game day cocktails, we've got the perfect lineup for your football gatherings. Visit VegasScoreboardExpress.com and click the Drizzly. Now let's get the party started. Drink responsibly. Must be of legal drinking age. Delivery and availability may vary.
You are rocking with the hottest. Put your hands up for the boss. The Mix Master is live. Get ready.
See you haven't changed.
You're listening to the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express, giving you that grease.
JB The Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, waking you back up. Got a little bit of that Sherelle because I'm giving you Saturday love. That's right, Saturday college football. VSX Digital Sports Network, jbtheticket.com is where you want to go to keep that cash going in your pocket. Got my main man, John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook, and RotoWire.com here on the line with me. And, of course, Ron, Third Down Best Bets, VSX Digital Sports contributor and my co-host. Want to give a quick shout-out to my main man, Linwood Hard Rock Hamilton. Thank you so much for checking in with me. Also want to give a shout-out to my guy, Brian Snowman in the Morning, trying to get that show going this fall. 5 days a week, haven't forgotten about it, but it takes a while to produce it. We don't want to put anything out that is not going to be successful. So, again, thank you guys so much for tuning in here, KSHP 107.1 FM and AM 1400. Jumping back into some more college football. This is a game that a lot of people have been talking about over the last few weeks, and we have seen some of the teams in this particular game slip up. We want to talk about that Notre Dame versus USC game. Again, Ron, this is a game that you were circled on your list. You're a big fan. You've got a lot of fans that listen to you on my show in regards to these two teams. And it is an interesting matchup today because I was looking at the implications for the college football playoff. And when you've already got Notre Dame losing 2 games, losing 1 at home, dropping all the way down to number 21. JB the Ticket told you that was going to happen last week after they took that loss. USC still holding strong in the top 10 at number 9 today. Rotation number 215. The Trojans heading out to South Bend, going up against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Rotation number 216. Now, Notre Dame is a favorite today. Very few times are you going to get a dog with as much value and ability to get you that value on the money line than USC today. Rotation number 215. USC is plus 2.5 on the money line. It looks like this is one of those games where I'm going to bet the house.
I love it.
You got a team 6-0 going up against a team 5-2, and Notre Dame is on a skid. I think that's why they got priced so close. But when you look at what Caleb Williams has been trying to do with those painted fingernails, pause. He's got USC undefeated right now, and they have played a few tough games in the Pac-12, so I think they will be seasoned to head out to South Bend today. It's going to be a national game, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. So, Ron, I'll throw this one at you. You're the USC expert. Do you think that USC goes to 7-0 today and possibly moves up into the top 5? Go ahead.
I surely do. I think they beat Notre Dame today. USC has been tested. That Arizona game last week was a dogfight. Arizona doesn't get enough credit. They're a really good, scrappy team. They're playing with a backup quarterback who was a true freshman, and they had to go 3 overtimes to lose to USC in the college team. So Arizona's a barking dog. They gave Washington a hell of a run the week before. USC has been tested. The Pac-12 is a really good conference this year. We saw last night what Stanford did. Notre Dame, the 2 teams they played that are good, Louisville and Ohio State, both losses. Louisville hammered them. They gave away the Ohio State game. Notre Dame's offense is struggling. Sam Hartman has not been a good quarterback the last few weeks. I don't see USC's defense being that bad where he can take advantage of it. They're going to rush him, and he's going to throw some picks today.
Talking about he's going to be a pick monster. Bringing it over to you, John. Do you think Notre Dame rights the ship today? Not a lot of value when you talk about it from the perspective of betting, with Notre Dame coming in today at even money on the spread -3. You got to go 135 money line for them as well. Good price.
It's a low price.
If you're a Notre Dame alumni taking those alumni bets, but USC plus 115, you get an extra $15 on your money. Small value, but talking about dogs. And you know, we're big dog bettors. That's what built this show. When you talk about it from that perspective, I don't think there's any better dog on the line today other than USC at +3, plus 115 money line. Total 60.5, John, as well. Go ahead.
Well, one thing that's going to happen at this game before the game starts, they're going to celebrate the 1974 championship team with the members, sadly, that are still among us. I happen to know one of them. Great gentleman in our community, and he'll obviously be there. So there could be some excitement from that as well. And this is really a desperate Notre Dame team now. They can't afford to go to 3 losses. And beating USC, ranked number 10 in the country, would be a resume builder if they had any aspirations or slim hopes of making a major bowl, let alone the college football playoff. I don't think is even possible at this point. But this is a pivotal game for them for the rest of the season. What I'm going to suggest here is you look at the market. It's priced at 60 points and basically -3, as you said. That implies that Notre Dame is probably going to score 28 or more points in this game. And USC's defense is really a big concern to me as a team that could win the Pac-12, defeat Oregon or Washington, and then be considered for the college football playoff. I think Washington and Oregon are already better than them, and we'll have to see how that plays out today because that's a huge showdown on the card later today.
We're going to be talking about it shortly. Go ahead.
I do think the over is the way to go here. Now, with games of 60 or more points, the scoring volatility is going to be back and forth. Both teams are probably going to have leads in this game. So let that work to your advantage. So if you like the over, which I do, maybe bet half your amount pre-flop and then look for, a number 57.5, 56.5 during the first quarter, second quarter of action. and build your position with much, much better pricing. So that's how I'm going to play it. At 7:30, I'm going to have my chicken wings and a couple of IPAs and just have some fun with it.
You already know what time it is. Got to get those chicken wings, and you guys can get those IPAs over from our friends at drizzly.com. Go to jptheticket.com, click the Drizzly, and get that alcohol delivered right to your front door. I'm liking USC in this one, taking a money line tonight. It's the last game on the board that I intend to bet. Got that late night Hawaii-San Diego State game. Not even going to get into it. 2 turds in the bucket. You're betting on seeing which one goes down first and which one floats. But I do like the Notre Dame game to go over as well, John. Like you said, USC, if they're going to win this game, it's going to have to be one with offense. They let Colorado get inside of them as well a couple of days ago or a few weeks back as far as their spread. So today, this is a win by one, lose by none type of scenario. And again, the emotional effect and motivation of a pregame award ceremony, I don't think that really has too much effect in college football today. USC has the ability, with a powerful win today, to go up in the rankings 3-4 spots. I think Lincoln Riley is looking to be another national championship berth, college football playoff berth on his record. He had a lot of success at Oklahoma. And I think that what he wants to do with USC as they are moving into the Big Ten coming up next year, talking about building resumes, I don't think nobody's going to build a better resume this year than USC. So when we get back from this short commercial break, we want you guys to keep it locked and stay tuned. We're going to be jumping into the big action for the early afternoon game. Washington, Oregon. This is a game where, again, value on the dog. When we get back from the short commercial break, we'll go over it with you. Ron, Third Down, Best Bets, VSX Digital Sports Contributor. Thank you so much for what you do. And again, appreciate you coming back from sabbatical. When you get here to Vegas, I got to take a sabbatical. You know, a whole bunch of stuff's going on. You know how it goes, but nothing can stop the grease. Nothing can stop the gravy train here. KSHP 107.1 FM, AM 1400, making it happen for you, putting you where you want to be. So, Ron, I'll give you a shout out. We'll take this short commercial break, and then when we get back, we're going to be talking some Washington. Also going to have a little bit of UNLV on the show today. That's right, UNLV going up against Arkansas. UNLV already beat an SEC team, and Coach Barry Odom here in town has got those boys clicking on all cylinders as well, looking to get bowl eligible in the next 2 to 3 weeks of the college football season. So, Ron, I'll give you a shout out, and we take this short commercial break. Go ahead.
I'm going to sneak 3 quickies on the 3 big fans. Our super fan Kayla, Jared Garcia, and Brad McDonald. All you fans of the show, thanks for listening.
Thank you guys so much for listening. And I want you guys here in Las Vegas and around the world listening on KSHP.com, tune in, Spotify, and where you get your radio and digital grease to keep it locked with me here, JB the Ticket. College football Saturday. We've got picks that pay. We're going to keep putting cash in your pocket, so you guys keep it locked with me. When I get back, more grease, all money, all sports, no bull. Let's get it.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express, giving you that grease.
The Klondike Casino is a friendly local spot that features their signature restaurant, the Klondike Grill, serving up fresh food fast. Open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner just off the 95 freeway on Sunset Road in Henderson. You will find the Klondike Casino, featuring all your favorite games from the Strip in the comfort of a neighborhood casino. You can place a bet at their full-service sports book, or start your day with a breakfast plate that comes with your choice of potato and toast. Or check us out for lunch or dinner and try one of our many sandwiches, like the popular beer-battered fish sandwich or the Philly cheesesteak. Check out the full menu at KlondikeSunset.com.
Skip your cable bill this month and join the action with JB and Fubo TV. Get 7 days free, 15% off your first month. No credit check, no deposit, No installation hassle. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. Sign up, download the app, and start watching games.
Enjoy being a subscriber after the first month. Easy cancellation anytime. Regional restrictions apply. Sign up at VegasScoreboardExpress.com.
You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network. You're listening to the boss of the big board.
If you have money, you can buy anything.
JB the Ticket.
More fire, more heat.
Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, back at you live. Ron, third down, best digital sports contributor. Ron, you still there with me? Go ahead.
I'm here, brother.
John Ryan, predictive sports betting playbook, rotowire.com. You're still on the line. Go ahead.
I'm here, JB.
That's what I'm talking about, guys. We are all here, the boss of the big board, with my cohorts. Again, go over to my website, jbtheticket.com. That's where you're going to get the free plays of the day. Also, you can get our special exclusive picks for myself, Ronnie B, and some of the other featured cappers over the next few weeks. So talking about more college football today, let's get back into it. Got about 10 minutes before the show is time to go. And don't forget, you guys, today there is an eclipse going to be happening out there. So that's going to be a little bit interesting for you. If you're into the celestials, the stars, and maybe looking to make a change, make a wish on it. But you know what I'm looking for? You know what I'm waiting on? Those aliens. Are they coming? Please take me. Take me. I'll be first in line. Take me. All right, but let's talk about this football action again today, being brought to you by Fubo TV. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. 15% off and 7 days free. Rotation number 187. It could be a murder. The Oregon Ducks going down the 95, a.k.a. the 5 West Coast line, to Washington. Rotation number 188. Again, shout out my main man, Troy. West. All my friends that were hanging out with me in Circa from the Seattle area, thank you for all that fun a couple weeks ago. Appreciate you guys listening to the show. But Oregon, rotation number 187. They're looking to come down and kill a Husky. Rotation number 188, minus 3.5. Both teams are 5-0, so there will be a loser today. Another good dog value bet with Oregon, the way that we've seen them play. Shout out Bo Nix. This young man is transferred out of out of Auburn, coming to the West Coast to Oregon, and has been a lights-out player for this team. But also, on the other side of that, a dynamic quarterback, Heisman Trophy contender, Michael Penix Jr. Washington has been obliterating all comers. So when you talk about this particular game, John, I'll throw this one at you to get it started. There's value across the board. +3. Everybody's been telling me take Oregon in the +3, but they haven't been tested. Washington has been tested. They've gone on the road. They played a Michigan State team that played them somewhat tough, but they blew them out early. -150 on the money line. +130 for Oregon in the road dog position. I do like Washington to continue to close the door on teams late in the game, and it's a home game. Total in this game is 66. For the half, 31.5. I like a lot of first half action as well. I think Oregon could possibly get inside of any first half spreads, but I think late in the game, Washington is going to pull this out. But John, your thoughts. Got about 5 minutes left. I'll give you a minute. Go ahead.
Well, I think you're right here, JB. Washington is the right side, in my opinion. Both teams are pretty similar in their offensive schemes, but Oregon is more balanced. What Michael Penix is doing is remarkable. His stats are off the charts, and I think Oregon, as you said, is not seasoned. Washington has played a much more difficult schedule, and this is the game that's been circled for a long, long time for the Huskies. And the line in the market implied that they're going to score at least 28 points with a total of 66. So in games in which Washington has scored 28 or more points, they are 127-63 over the last 25 seasons in college football for 67%. And when they gain 5.5 or more yards per rushing attempt, they are 5-0 over the last 3 years against the number, and 48-19 over the last 25 seasons. So I see Washington moving the ball, and that defense, I think, is better than the Oregon defense, and that'll get the job done.
That's what I'm talking about. We're on third down best bets. I'll throw this one at you. You did like what Oregon did over the past 5 weeks, but we talked about it in the pregame. Don't think they've really been tested by anyone. And when you get these teams that are coming in with a lot of fanfare, Oregon coming out of the Pac-12, I think they're going to be moving conferences as well. Talking about these resume games, the Oregon Ducks, are they for real in your eyes? Do you think that this +3, you might want to buy it up to a +7 to give yourself a chance to possibly put some cash in your pocket if you wanted to go with the Ducks today? Go ahead.
Well, this won't be the last time these two play. They're both going to the Big Ten next year with USC and UCLA, so it's going to be a great rival to keep going. This is like a USC-UCLA game. Everything goes out the window. These two teams hate each other. They want to win. That's their number one goal every year, winning this game. I like what you guys have said. I like Washington. Their defense is dominant. Oregon, they've had a few tough opponents, but Washington's a battle test. They beat Boise State as well, and they had to go to Arizona, and Arizona is a dog, and they had a tough game. And I really think Washington's defense at the end is going to wind up shutting them down. So I like Washington as well.
Well, Washington is going to have to rely on their defense. Just a quick stat for you. The Oregon Ducks are averaging over 44 points a game. Their mode, and again, talking about that mean mode average. Again, you guys got to remember your third grade math here. Mode is what they do the most. Oregon scores about 40 points a game. Okay, you can see Oregon come on the field. You know you're going to get at least 35. For Washington's defense to stop that, I also think the over could be a good play today, simply because if defense is going to be a factor, Oregon in the first half is going to try to come out and get some early scores. And if they're able to do that, early touchdown, maybe 14 points, I think it could be a little bit difficult for Washington to really pull away here. That's why the spread has been so tight. But nevertheless, we do like Washington here. Oregon bettors, if you like Oregon today and you take them in the dog line, JB the Ticket's telling you, buy them up a full touchdown. Get that +7 if you can buy it up to the hook, 7.5. It's going to be tough, but you don't want to get it too close and have yourself out there losing money. So again, guys, thank you so much for stopping by the big board today. Got about a minute left. Queuing up some good music for you guys to get you over to the book. Again, thank you so much for rocking with me here, JB the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express. Want to talk a little bit of UNLV today. Throw this one at you, Ron. UNLV at home going up against the UNR Wolfpack. UNR has been terrible this year. 0-5. UNLV's beat an SEC team. Rotation number 185. UNLV. Think these guys are a dog that is barking. -8.5. If you like Nevada, and the only reason I call UNLV a dog is because, again, even if they're in their favorite, they're still a dog to me. Still proving themselves. Coach Barry Odom has been doing a great job. Nevada Wolfpack, do they go to 0-6 today? Go ahead, Ron.
They go to 0-6 today. Barry Odom's got this train rolling. They're playing good football. They don't listen to nobody. They just handle their business. I like that. They're efficient. They just do what they got to do.
Ron, third down best bets. Thank you so much for stopping by the big board today. I'll throw this one at you too, John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook. Thank you so much for stopping by. You think UNLV is going to be one game closer to bowl eligibility after this Saturday? Go ahead.
I would have to think so, JB. A winless team is not a team you want to bet on or invest your hard-earned money with. It's better not to make the bet at all. But if Nevada would get 8 lead, I think I would bet UNLV live in-game then to win the game and come back.
That's what you're talking about. Live in-game betting. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Getting ready to get out of here. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. Going to have Ronnie P. NFL picks for you. JB the Ticket's also going to be bringing in some other special guests. The Sunday NFL picks are going to be live and hot. Appreciate you guys listening to me today for Saturday's picks. Get out there. Check out that eclipse. Don't look at the sun directly with your eyes. Do what you got to do today. It's Saturday. Keep your head up. Telling that to myself. And you guys, most importantly, keep your bankroll and get that money.